1. From $6 billion valuation to nonprofit, the 23andMe transformation. 2. 23andMe bankruptcy sale approved, $305 million deal with Anne Wojcicki's nonprofit. 1. From $6 billion valuation to nonprofit, the 23andMe transformation. In a dramatic downfall that shook the biotech world, 23andMe plummeted from a $6 billion valuation to bankruptcy, only to be rescued by an unlikely nonprofit savior. Anne Wojcicki, the company's co-founder, just unveiled her nonprofit TTAM Research Institute as the new owner after a $305 million bankruptcy court approval. This bombshell acquisition marks a complete transformation for the DNA testing pioneer, which had been battered by financial woes, a massive data breach, and fading consumer interest. Now, Wojcicki claims this nonprofit shift will finally fulfill 23andMe's original mission, empowering people through their genetic code without shareholder pressures. But here's where it gets controversial: can a nonprofit really salvage what profit-driven capitalism couldn't? At its core, this takeover represents a philosophical reboot. Wojcicki passionately argues that DNA insights are a fundamental human right, not a commodity. She revealed that her vision sharpened after personal tragedies, the recent losses of her father, sister, and nephew, fueling her drive to give back through science. Under TTAM, 23andMe will prioritize ethical research, expand genetic access to underserved communities, and maintain all existing user services. Yet this radical shift raises tough questions. Can removing profit motives truly protect consumer data better than before? And is it even sustainable? Legally, the acquisition navigated complex terrain. TTAM outbid pharmaceutical giant Regeneron using Section 363 of U.S. bankruptcy law, a fast-track process for distressed companies. Though multiple states objected over genetic privacy fears, the court approved the deal with strict safeguards. Users must be notified and retain permanent rights to delete their data. This upholds a critical promise to 23andMe's 15 million customers, 80% of whom participate in groundbreaking research that's fueled over 275 medical studies. Wojcicki vows to reinforce privacy while supercharging science. TTAM will invest $84 million next year alone to target global health disparities, focusing on diseases prevalent in marginalized populations. She calls human DNA research the most exciting scientific mission of our lifetime, noting that 99.5% genetic similarity among all people could unite global efforts. For Wojcicki, leading this nonprofit revival is deeply personal. After years of Wall Street battles and regulatory headaches, she's reclaiming control to build a transparent, ethical future for genomics. She frames it as her life's mission: my passion is helping everyone benefit from their genome. Now the ultimate experiment begins: can personal genomics thrive without profits driving innovation? Wojcicki bets yes, envisioning a world where community-driven research trumps quarterly earnings. But critics might ask, will the funding dry up without commercial incentives? What happens when non-profit budgets collide with cutting-edge science costs? This could redefine biotech's soul. If TTAM succeeds, it might inspire a wave of ethical acquisitions. If it fails, it proves profit and progress are inseparable. What's your verdict: idealistic revolution or naive pipe dream? Sound off below. 2. 23andMe bankruptcy sale approved, $305 million deal with Anne Wojcicki's nonprofit. Imagine a company that mapped millions of genomes, only to face a financial meltdown that threatened its very existence. Welcome to the dramatic saga of 23andMe, the genetic testing pioneer that recently navigated a $305 million bankruptcy sale, a deal so complex, it required legal wizards to steer it through treacherous waters. At the helm were two powerhouse attorneys, Christopher Hopkins of Paul, Weiss, Rifkind, Wharton and Garrison, who guided 23andMe through its Chapter 11 proceedings, and Joseph Larkin of Skadden, Orps, Slate, Marr and Flom, who orchestrated a shocking bidding war on behalf of co-founder Anne Wojcicki's nonprofit, TTAM Research Institute. Here's how they turned a potential disaster into a historic victory, and why it's sparking heated debates in both legal and scientific circles. #The crisis: why 23andMe needed a miracle. 23andMe's rise was nothing short of phenomenal. By decoding DNA for consumers, it amassed a treasure trove of genetic data. But the costs of innovation, regulatory hurdles, and declining demand pushed the company into voluntary bankruptcy in March 2025. Enter Hopkins, tasked with selling the firm's assets to pay off creditors. The initial offer? A $256 million bid from Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. The plot twist, a nonprofit steals the show. But here's where it gets controversial. Wojcicki, 23andMe's co-founder, wasn't ready to let go. Backed by Larkin's team, she formed TTAM Research Institute, a nonprofit that reopened bidding in a surprise move last month. The result? A winning $305 million offer that left Regeneron in the dust. Decoding the legal magic. So, how did this happen? Chapter 11 bankruptcy allows companies to restructure or sell assets while protecting them from creditors temporarily. Hopkins' team had to balance competing interests, creditors wanting maximum payout, Regeneron pushing for a quick sale, and Wojcicki's nonprofit arguing its mission-aligned bid was the best long-term play. Larkin's strategy? Prove that TTAM's offer, despite being riskier, e.g., contingent on regulatory approvals, was genuinely superior. The elephant in the room, is a nonprofit the right home for genetic data? Critics argue that a nonprofit led by the company's co-founder raises ethical questions. Will TTAM maintain transparency over 23andMe's vast DNA database? Could this set a precedent where founders rescue failing firms through nonprofits, potentially sidestepping traditional accountability? Proponents counter that TTAM's research focus aligns with the public good, ensuring the data isn't exploited by for-profit pharmaceutical giants. The verdict, genius or gamble? Hopkins and Larkin's success hinges on their ability to navigate unprecedented territory. As one observer noted, this deal isn't just about numbers, it's about who controls the future of genetic research. Your turn. Is using a nonprofit to acquire a bankrupt biotech firm a clever workaround or a loophole with unintended consequences? Should genetic data be owned by for-profits, nonprofits, or something entirely different? The bottom line 23andMe saga is more than a legal win, it's a blueprint for how bankrupt innovators might survive in a risky, regulated world. Love it or hate it, one thing's clear, the future of genetic privacy and innovation just got a lot more complicated.